Hey guys, how's it going out there? This is McKellar here. I thought I'd just make another type of video here that was based upon the recent events, and more specifically in the United States. The whole recent type of presidential elections between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Of course, now Donald Trump is in. So, of course, unfortunately, since, of course, according to the whole realistic life of things, been rather busy with work and school and so on. Of course, I haven't been able to put in the time to be able to look at these presidential candidates. Of course, now I know that Donald Trump won. Of course, my first thought was, okay, now these candidates were running for that presidential seat. Now the question is, what were they promising during their elections? Good question. Well, of course, some of you Americans already have known about this for a long time ago already. Other people were still wondering, okay, well, he's president. What's he going to do for the U.S.? So, of course, as I was looking, just doing a bit of a quick research as to like what Donald Trump was already promising for the American people. He's got quite a bit of a list here that I'm looking at, and some of them was rather quite logical and makes sense. Some of them's like, okay, you're promising to do this. This doesn't make any sense, and I don't think that bears any kind of relevance. Such as, of course, building walls on southern U.S. border, and of course this is linking along with having Mexico to pay for the wall. Okay, sure. One is to build a safe zone in Syria, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it. I think get the Gulf nations to pay for it. Build a safe zone and have them pay for it. Okay then. Another one is to take care of women. I don't know how he's gonna do that, but okay, I guess that's what he's promising. So here's one that I thought was a little silly. I think I don't know why he would throw that in his own promise to America, such as never be in a bicycle race. Okay, well, I don't see any relevance that could, however, so-called make America great again. But apparently he's not going to do that. Seems silly. Bring back, or rather promote Christmas, or just to bring back the whole feel of the whole part of Merry Christmas. Okay, well, nothing wrong with that, sure. Let's see here. Bomb Islamic State's oil. Approve waterboarding. Okay, I don't know why, but sure, whatever. Find great generals who won't go on TV. Okay, these type of promises that he has made, again, it's kind of along the lines of, I don't know why, but okay, fine. I'm pretty sure there's reasons behind this. Renegotiate foreign trade deals. Surveillance certain mosques or something like that. Make a database for Syrian refugees. Send those refugees back because they're not going to be permitted in the U.S. Rebuild aging infrastructures such as bridges, roadways, airports. Okay, well, I can kind of see that. Yes. Reduce the $18 trillion debt from the nation. Well, yeah, I can see that being an issue. Save social security without cutting benefits. Okay, that's a good challenge. Repeal Obamacare and replace it with a better system. Okay, well, if there's an idea that's out there, okay, I can understand that for sure. Find Common Core. Oh, sorry, end Common Core. My apologies. End Common Core. Okay, we'll see what happens. Take jobs back from China, Japan, and Mexico. I can kind of see that part because you have good Americans that can work. Okay, that's totally fine. But yeah, having these foreigners come into the nation and you take over that job, which any American can do the same thing. I can kind of see that, yeah, sort of. But unless there is a good reason why behind that, or some of you Americans may not agree with that. I'm just looking at the list here. Let's see here. Here's another one. Be a cheerleader for America. Maybe be a figurehead for the U.S. Okay, fine, but be a cheerleader. Okay, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Donald Trump in a short skirt dancing around. No, thank you. For the hell with that idea. Get rid of the EPA. Okay, I'll have to research that further on, see what the hell that is. Defund Planned Parenthood. Okay, I'm not sure if that's an awesome idea, but I guess I'm pretty sure there's a logical reason behind that. Use the term radical Islamic terrorism. Okay, I don't know why, but again, I'm pretty sure there's a reason behind that. Ban most foreign Muslims from entering the U.S. Of course, again, I'm sure there's a reason behind that. It's probably in relations to terrorism. Work with putting to wipe out shared enemies, I guess. Pick Supreme Court justices who are really great legal scholars. Okay, well, of course, Trump is a businessman, so I'm pretty sure he's got the whole qualification eye for these things. Kill terrorist relatives. Really? I don't know about that, but again, I'm sure that there's a reason why behind that. Leave the troops in Afghanistan. Might be a little debatable about that. Maybe they want to come home and visit with their family and so on. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why behind that. Let's see here. Find an out clause in the Iran deal. Of course, again, he's a businessman, so I'm sure, again, there's a reason behind these things. Oppose killing journalists. Be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Challenge China's power in the world. Okay, we'll see what happens. Here's one that I thought was a little confused, like, what? Which is, buy the Chinese president a McDonald's hamburger. Why? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you do that, but whatever. Maybe keep a good relations, but that's a bit of a weak kind of a relation. Replace free trade with fair trade. If you're thinking a business-like matter, perhaps I guess I could see the whole logic between that. Put billionaire hedge fund manager Carl Icahn in charge of trade negotiations with China. Grow the GDP by at least 6%. Cut the budgets by 20%. Repeal Obama's executive actions on immigration. Ensure that Americans can still afford golf. I don't know why. Get rid of most corporate tax loopholes. Okay, in a logical sense, perhaps I could see why. Maybe. Get rid of income tax for some earners. Allow concealed carry permits to be recognized in all 50 states. Of course, they have that. I think it was the Third or Fourth Amendment, whichever one that was, which is the right to bear arms. Provide more funding for police training. Okay. Provide more funding for drug treatment. Well, to get people off the drugs, to make them clean, so they can have a good start in life and so on. Okay, yeah, obviously I can see that. Be unpredictable. That kind of threw me off a little bit, but I don't know why. But maybe relation to military tactics. Again, I don't know. And birthright citizenship. Yeah, apparently that was on the list. Say things that are politically incorrect. That one kind of got me a little confused, but I'm pretty sure there's a reason why behind that. Never take a vacation. Maybe he wants to be the hardest working president there is. Let's see here. Make America great again. Maybe I'm pretty sure for everything I just mentioned off the list, I guess obviously that's highly in relations to like, of course, making all these type of changes for the U.S. in order to make that nation just to jack it up to the part of making it absolutely great for other foreign nations to recognize or something. But of course, he's got some optimistic changes. Others a little confusing, but like anyways, that was a little research I had. Like that was just like a list I had discovered, and thought, okay, so this is the whole perspective of why everyone had voted for Trump as opposed to Hillary Clinton. And so there is also the list for Hillary Clinton. Again, just made another bit of kind of a rough research as to, okay, what was she promising for the American people? One deals with in relations to taxes, such as, of course, will not raise taxes for lower and middle class families, like such as for those type of families earning for their income of $250,000 or less. Okay, well, no, that sounds like a really nice idea, but what else here? So that was pretty much in relation with taxes. Another one was Trans-Pacific Partnership. So pretty much Hillary Clinton, she's against it. Of course, I'm pretty sure that all of you have known about this. You probably had known about this for like a long time, and of course she's willing to make some trade agreements, but she's like completely opposed to like pretty much like most of them. Of course, the third one was in relations to the U.S. military, that she wants to pretty much kind of reduce the percentage of like the U.S. soldiers within Afghanistan, wants to be able to pull them back, or just again lower the percentage of them and get them out of there, or something like that, or pretty much not make them there. And of course, in relations to any kind of money or taxes of any kind, another in relations, and of course I'm sure all of you had known about this, was college costs. And of course, that is to have like college students become like debt free, for still linked with families in the lower or middle class families that are earning apparently $125,000. So, like, to me, when I was looking at this, my first thought was, that's all she was promising, was just this? In comparison to Donald Trump's, like, huge Christmas list of everything that he's going to be doing for the American people. And once I looked at hers, my first thought was, wow, that's really not that much. She's not planning on changing all that great deal. However, keep in mind that was just a rough type of research, not a great deal, an extensive like a bachelor or master thesis of what she was planning on doing. So I didn't really get that much into there, but I do know that, of course, about the whole rumors about her email issue, with the whole part of apparently emailing a lot of people about having this person and this person that's with the campaign to ask these important questions, just to have these type of optimistic sides kind of go along with her favor. Now, I'm pretty sure that to all of you, this is rather like old news already, but like again, considering the fact that I've got a life, I work very hard, I'm also doing some part-time schooling and so on, that I haven't been able to dive into the whole in-depth part of like, okay, these two candidates are running. What are they promising? What do they represent? What do they stand for? What are they planning on doing? So that part right there, like I said before, like I'm sure there's much more in depth about what Hillary Clinton was planning on doing, but since now, of course, Donald Trump is now, of course, will be like the next president, and he'll be taking office, I think, sometime in a few months, like in January or something like that. Now, of course, I've had a couple of perspectives, like such as Hillary Clinton. She's more experienced in the whole political aspect of things, therefore she should have been qualified. Donald Trump, on the other hand, I don't know if he has a great deal, if he has any kind of form of experience in politics of any kind. Yet he's more highly professional and highly, very much like top-notch expert, like in the whole professionalism of business. His main forte, his only cup of tea is business. The guy knows how to run a business. He's apparently been doing that for years. Now, of course, since now he's in, whether he's going to be successful at it or not, I guess now only time will tell. Of course, myself on the hand, well, I'm not American, I'm Canadian. And, well, of course, we have our own little issue. Some of you may have already had known about this issue with our current leader of Canada, which is Justin Trudeau. Yeah, he's quite the character. That's all I gotta say about him. So, like, anyways, like I said before, so I just want to be able to kind of share the whole part that, okay, well, since now Trudeau is in, well, for all you Americans out there, all I can say is we'll see what happens from there. So that's just the whole perspective of which I was looking at. So, as for Justin Trudeau, for some of you, for like all of you Canadians out there, I'm not too sure of like, you know, not really sure about how you feel about the guy. Me personally, it's like, of course, after I had like looked at Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, both of them. Now I began, of course, looking at my political leader, Justin Trudeau. Of course, he's not the figurehead of my country of Canada. Of course, technically, the Queen is, and of course, well, they don't. Apparently, I guess they don't. The Queen of England, they don't do much. I guess they pretty much don't do much kind of modern activity. What's going on over here? Because well, because Canada had claimed their own independence in I think it was 1967, and I believe it was, anyways. So for that part, I was actually just looking at. Sorry, one moment here. Okay, so for Justin Trudeau, since he claimed office last year, my first thought was, of course, like, okay, what did he promise to do for Canada? Like, yeah, actually, that's a good question. So I actually just took a couple snapshots as like, okay, what he had promised. Well, I could name off every single detail known to mankind as to what he has promised for Canadians, for my country, but the list is very extensive. It's actually far more extensive than what Donald Trump has promised for America, such as like he's got about 223 promises he's made. Apparently, he has achieved 37 out of 223. He's broken 28 out of the 223. The kind of promises he has made, out of 223, 68 are in progress, and the kind that apparently that he wants to be able to work on, out of the 223, 90 of them have yet to get started. Like, really? Okay, so that is his progress. So, like I said before, it's rather too long, and the best lead I could probably give you so that you can be able to have a further look in depth into it, it is at www.trudeaumeter.ca. So again, it is www.trudeaumeter.ca. That is his so-called progress. Now, for that part, can't really much say that I'm a Trudeau guy because, well, my opinion about the whole type of politics in itself, Well, it's not just about any kind of political candidate that wants to take over the seat of either in the prime minister's seat or the president's seat or whichever seat that you want to dive into. Mine is rather different. So pretty much of what I meant by that was, if you want to be able to change anything, and the way I look at it, to do in a political sense of what is right, and you're obviously thinking about your country, and you want to be able to help or do something or change something for the better for either all Canadians or all Americans or all Mexicans or any other kind of any kind of foreign nation overseas. If you want to do something great, my perspective on that is simply that if you're up there, you're making promises for these people that you're thinking about them. You're making all these promises. I know, like, for example, Justin Trudeau, he's got literally 223 promises that he has made, and my first thought was, that's putting quite a bit on your plate, isn't it? Like, well, if you think you can do it within the next 3 years, go for it, but I don't know. That's going to be a little stressful, but try to do what you can, I guess. See what happens. Now, of course, now in that part of that, my first thought is, okay, if you want to be elected and you're promising these people that you're going to be doing this. Now, of course, the whole idea that some politicians, they don't do their job. They're all crooked. They're all pretty much like they're pretty much all crooked. They're not going to do what they claim, and obviously they're just going to do things, behind closed doors or behind closed curtains. You may never hear about it in the media. And they can pretty much, once they're in power, they can do whatever they want. Now, of course, the way I look at it is that once you do get elected and you become that president or prime minister, when people elect you and vote you in, these people are trusting, like for these candidates, these people are trusting that political candidate to literally do the job. And since these political candidates or any other futuristic politicians, once they do get into that power, it's all about, once you receive that political power, yes, like, you're in command. You have the political authority. You have that whole authoritarian, either authoritarian or authoritative rule, however which way you want to look at it. Authoritarian just means that you do as I say, that's an order or something like that, and authoritative is like, no, I want you to do it this way because this is the reason why. So for any kind of political candidate that wants to be able to change anything, and once they receive that power, I'm pretty sure that all of you would agree that all we expect is that these political candidates, that these politicians, once they receive that power, that they do exercise their power with a great deal amount of integrity and in a responsible way, especially the ultimate best optimistic interest for their country. Plain and simple. I'm pretty sure that's a whole summarizing of what any individual is expecting within their country. Because obviously, if you want to do great for your country, if you want to be like optimistically great and have every single individual within your nation to look at you as like, wow, this guy is a great president, or this guy is a great prime minister. I want him to run again because he's doing an awesome, phenomenal, great job. I absolutely love that guy to no end, or I love that woman to no end. She's a great prime minister or a great president. Again, I'm pretty sure that's what we all expect, is that you be able to hold and exercise your own political power with a great amount of integrity and becoming very responsible for what you do with that power. Especially in the whole optimistic best interest within the country. of course, a nice metaphor, which is, of course, between of like this is a nice little metaphor I put in between with like the whole quote from Spider-Man: "With great power comes great responsibility." Another analogy with, of course, with Star Trek. You can either look at the character Jean-Luc Picard or the character James T. Kirk. Doesn't matter which way, doesn't matter which other captain you look at. Yeah, sure, they are in command. They are the captain, but just because they hold that type of power, that they sort of can do whatever they want to a degree. But of course, they have to answer to that higher power that's above them, like some other admiral that's telling that captain, like giving them an assignment to go do what needs to be done within that mission parameters. So in other words, they have that power, but they also have the responsibility within that power. Just because like they command a starship, that doesn't necessarily mean that they can go ahead and abuse their authority and do whatever they want. Because if they do, I'm pretty sure that even Starfleet will take away their rank or to have them demoted and take away that power. Because obviously they're not exercising it responsibly, especially within the best interest. So that's just kind of like my thoughts on there, pretty much on that. So like I'm not too sure if there's anything that I have missed of any kind. If any of you like want to kind of be in an open topic about this and want to discuss this and see what's your interest upon this matter of what you think, I'm all for that as well. I'm all good with that. So for now, this is McKellar signing off, and I'll be making another video soon.